Hello. I look like a different human being at the moment because I shaved my face today. I have to go to dang Camp Shelby in Hattiesburg in one day. So, yeah, I had to shave my face. Oh, gosh. Let's see. I actually don't know what the last thing I talked about was. Yes, I do, actually. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, we got some good stuff to talk about, actually. We really do. So I've been reading Superior Spider-Man. Oh, I gotta put a song on. I can't just leave it with nothing playing. That's just terrible. I got some Vinesicles. So I'll show you them skis. I think I already showed you them. Did I show you these? We got some further seams forever, boy. See, this right here is a banger. That Jason Gleason joint. I like Chris Carrabba a lot. Like Carrabba he's the man, you know? He's the man. He's really sweet. I'm not huge on Dashboard Confessional, to be frank, because I'm not big on just the straight up acoustic. Not that that's a problem, but it's just not really my cup of tea. This vinyl looks awesome, as you can see. But Chris is rad, and his voice is cool as heck. And all of his songs are really good. He's not even in the video for the songs that he wrote, which is kind of funny. Oh, and I got Slick Shoes as well. This is the self-titled, which isn't even close to being my favorite record by them. But it was the only one I could find. I found it on Tooth and Nail Records, their website. I was like, gimme. Because Slick Shoes is like my gateway band. They got me into Tooth and Nail. They got me into a lot of the music I listen to in general. So Slick Shoes is definitely one that I wanted. I wish I could have gotten like Rotation and Frequency, you know, because that's definitely my favorite record by them. But not a problem. Not a problem at all. Oh, snap. Then I got one of the best records ever made. I found this thing at Walmart, dude. Like, are you kidding me? What a find. I Love Supreme by Jonathan Coltrane. What are we talking about? Maybe the best jazz record of all time, or like definitely my favorite jazz musician of all time, John Coltrane. What are we talking about? Now I have 3 of them joints. I got Giant Steps, the Duke Ellington joint, and I got A Love Supreme. So that's pretty cool. I really want to get some Miles Davis. I don't have any Miles Davis yet, which is unfortunate. But I need some. I need some Davis. Blue and Green is obviously the one that you'd want because it's the best jazz record of all time. In fact, I found a site that was selling that one, and it was selling that one because he made like a movie soundtrack for some French movie, and it's like the greatest. Man, this just ain't want to work good. Anyway, it's really cool. I found a site that was selling that, and it was also selling Blue and Green, and I was gonna get them. Then I ended up getting those instead, which I'm still very happy about. Very. I think that both of these records are really good. Maybe not as good as, the Miles Davis ones, but they're still good records, and they kind of hit more. And I have a bunch of jazz stuff. I don't have anything that sounds like Slick Shoes, other than like Ramones, maybe. So I was like, I wanted to get it, so I got it. Anyway, so those are the 3 records that I got. They're really good records. Really, really good. I've been reading Superior Spider-Man. I got the omnibus. I've been reading that.
I've been having a lot of fun with that, so I've gotten up to Superior Spider-Man number 9. I also read ASM 698 through 700, and then I read Superior Spider-Man. I already read 1 through 6 a long time ago, or not a long time ago, last month. So I read 6 through 9 so far. I also cut my lip today. Shaving, which I've never done before. I've never cut myself shaving before. But I did that today. So, yeah. I was watching a bunch of hockey, bunch of Rangers. There's this guy on YouTube. I wish I could find his name. In fact, I probably can. But he uploaded a bunch of old Rangers games. He has like the whole, I think it's the 05, 06 season. He's got the entire season on YouTube. And I was like, thank you very much. I will be watching these. So I've been watching a bunch of those. I think my favorite player in their team at that point, obviously they got Jaromir Jagr. They got Michael Nylander, really cool. But I really like Darius Kasparaitis. He is my favorite player on their team. His name is Rangers Fan 819. So look him up on YouTube. He's got a bunch of stuff. If you like the Rangers. If you don't worry about it. Anyway. But yeah, and then we also got some games that they played. I don't know if I talked about them in Jersey, where Gabe Perreault got a hat trick, and then the next day against Washington, Will Cooley got a hat trick. So that was pretty darn sweet. And then they lost against Buffalo last night. That's okay. Anyway, the main thing I want to talk about today, I'll talk about the albums that I did, and then really the main thing we're talking about today is Secret Invasion. I watched Secret Invasion. We're just going to talk about the MCU in general today, I think, which I could talk about this forever. But we're going to talk about the MCU and mostly Secret Invasion, because I just watched Secret Invasion for the first time, and I was astounded at how terrible it was. But we're going to go into that in a little while. So what did we do? I did, Sarah Jewers. I think that's how you say her name. I don't know. But it's Sarah Jeuers. She's awesome. She did an album called Endure, which I have been listening to on repeat for a long time. Last couple weeks. I've been just spamming that junk. And it's really good. I've listened to her first record a long time ago. And it has a song called Anchor on it that I always liked. But I wasn't huge on it. I remember listening to that album. I had a thin crust pepperoni pizza, and I was eating it, and I listened to that album. I remember listening to it. But this one is insanely good. The production's insane. It's got a bunch of features on there. Some guys from like Indie Tribe and a couple other guys. I found her from an Antoine Bradford song that she was on, and that's how I found her. But this album is really, really, really good. Definitely check it out. Then I did some U2. I've listened to a bunch of U2. I did Live on the Old Grey Whistle Test in 1981, all their stuff off of that. They did I think how I found that was I was looking at Ocean by U2, which is one of my favorite songs by them. Boy is probably their best record. I really like October. People don't seem to like October that much, which I don't really understand, but I think that album is awesome. Now, is Boy better? Yes. Is War better? Probably. Is Joshua Tree better? Certainly. But Boy is my favorite because I like the early stuff the best. So, I can't help it. I like it. But I love October, dude. I love it. But anyway, they did a couple songs on that. It was maybe like 10 minutes long if you listen to all of them. But they did Ocean, and that song is awesome live. And it's just awesome in general. Then I did all the deluxe edition stuff off of Boy, so all the single versions and all that stuff, because I had never listened to that stuff. I'd only listened to the actual album like 50 times, but I'd never listened to all the bonus material, so I listened to all the bonus material, and I did that live that they did in 1981. Then I did the Taxi Driver soundtrack by Bernard Herrmann, which I've also listened to that a lot, because that's my favorite movie, but I had not listened to the entire record, so I listened to the whole album, and I just wrote it down, because why not? Then I did Stomp by Pipe Bomb, just an EP. It was cool. Not as good as his album, but it was still cool. And then I did Children of Fire by O Sleeper, which I really liked. And then I did Titan by O Sleeper, which I was kind of middled on. It was okay. But I really like Children of Fire. You can't be Sons of Morning or Son of Morning or whatever that one's called. But that one has some good songs on it. I think it's called In Seeker. I think that song's awesome. It has a YouTube video, so you can find it on YouTube if you want. And it's really good. So, yeah. And then I did Low Blow by Indie Tribe, which I've also done Upper Hand as well. And rap is not my cup of tea. I'm not huge on it. To be completely honest with you, I'm not a big rap fan. But I was like, I found these guys off of. I don't even know how I found these guys, in fact, but I think it was No Big Deal. I found No Big Deal, and then I like. It was just on like somebody's. It might have been like one, like how they say, "Oh, if you like this guy, you'll like this guy." It might have been like one of those types of gimmicks with Spotify. It could have been one of them deals. I'm really not sure, but anyway. So I listened to that as well, and that was they're cool. They're fine. So yeah. Then we're gonna get to Secret. I watched Bret Hart versus Psycho Sid in a steel cage match at MSG in 1997. It was just YouTube just uploaded that. Like WWE Vault uploaded that on their YouTube channel. I was like, why not? Because I've been getting into wrestling a lot recently, or not getting into it, but I've been watching it a lot recently, and because I got the TNA subscription again that they have, and I've been watching some real old TNA stuff. I did the 14th NWA pay-per-view that they ever did, and then I skipped to the first Impact because I'd seen the first, so I've seen the first 14 TNA NWA pay-per-views, and I was like, I want to watch some Impact, so I skipped to the first Impact and watched it, and then I watched the pay-per-view before that one because I was like, oh, I need to watch that to understand what the heck's going on, because it was like the first King of the Mountain or King of the Hill match or whatever the heck where Jeff Jarrett wins the NWA title back from Truth, Ron Killings. His NWA run is so funny. Dude, he literally calls himself the Suntan Superman. Like, that is absurd. And if you've never heard the 3 Life Crew theme song, you need to listen to it because it is insane. It is insane. Yeah, man. So TNA at that point is ridiculous. We're getting into full stride Vince Russo at that point, and it's definitely interesting. But they got some really good guys in their roster at that point, man. P.D. Williams and Eric Young and Christopher I don't think Daniels is there yet at this point, but AJ Styles, obviously, Jerry Lynn, all kind of guys, and they're really good. So yeah. And then also with the Rangers game against the Capitals, it was like the Inside Out thing, and I could not find the actual broadcast, so I had to watch that version of the game. So I'm watching like Joy get a hat trick instead of Will Coley. I don't know what that was. It was so weird, but I watched it, the whole thing, and it had like Kevin Weeks on commentary. Shout out Kevin Weeks, that's the man. One of my favorite goalies, low key. But yeah, obviously Hendrik Lundqvist took your spot, but I still love you. Anyway, I guess that's about it. Now we're going to talk about Secret Invasion. We're just going to talk about the MCU in general. Before we even get into Secret Invasion, I got to give you my preference and what I feel about the MCU, what I like from the MCU, so that you know before we go into this review of this show. I am a Phase 1 merchant. I think Phase 1 is the best phase. It's hard to find people like that. I feel like majority of people think Phase 3 is the best one, and I just don't agree. I also feel like most people think Infinity War is the best Marvel movie, and I also hard disagree. I think Endgame is way better than Infinity War, and I think even Endgame is not as good as the first Avengers. The first Avengers, to me, is the best Marvel movie ever made. That includes every X-Men movie. I think Logan is very good. Very, very good. Days of Future Past is also very, very good. But you cannot beat Avengers 1. The Avengers 1 is easily my favorite Marvel movie ever. And I just think Phase 1 is amazing. And the problem, and like also I love Winter Soldier, but I think the problem with when you get further down the road with Marvel stuff is that it all starts to feel the same, if that makes sense. Like, my point with that is that when you're watching the first, like, when you're watching the first Marvel phase, every single movie in that phase feels different, right? Because you've got, like, Captain America, which is a World War II kind of like period piece. It's a war movie, right? And then you've got the Hulk, which is like a, horror movie, body horror, like that kind of thing. And then you've got like a monster movie, a monster flick. And then you've got Iron Man, which is like a super realistic, kind of grounded military movie, right? Same thing with Iron Man 2. And then when you get to Thor, it's like some giant, the scale is huge, all these different gods of the mythology and all that stuff. And it's like super Shakespearean. So the fun part about Avengers 1 is like Nick Fury is kind of like the glue that's like putting all these guys together because they're so different, every single one of them. And he's putting them all together. And so when you have Avengers 1, it is the most fun part of that movie is not even the fight stuff. It's not even the fight scenes. It's just seeing all the different characters interact because they're all so different. Like seeing Tony and Bruce interact, seeing Steve and Tony interact, like seeing Hulk and Thor interact, like that kind of stuff. It's really fun. And I think that's why Avengers 1 is so special. Not only because it's the first time they ever did it, and it was the best time they ever did it, in my opinion, but also because each character is so different. And so when they come together, it feels really special. And all the interactions and the banter and the back and forth is what makes it so fun. Civil War is close because it has Black Panther and Captain America and Spider-Man in it. And those interactions are really good, right? Like Spider-Man interacting with like Winter Soldier and Captain America and stuff is really cool. But I don't think it beats Avengers 1. I think Age of Ultron isn't that great, in my opinion. It's not a bad movie, but it does not come close to Avengers 1 for me. And then same thing with Civil War. It's an amazing film. It really is. I'm a Steve and Bucky guy. I always have been. And so that movie's awesome. But I don't know, man. I just like Phase 3 is really good. Don't get me wrong. But I'll be honest, I think I like Phase 4 more than Phase 3. I think I like Phase 4 more than Phase 2. Can I just be 100%? Like, yeah, it had some bad stuff in it. But, bro, you got Loki. You got Moon Knight. You got Werewolf by Night. You got Shang-Chi. I think Eternals is ridiculously underrated. People hate on it for literally no reason. To me, it's the best-looking Marvel movie they've ever made. Guardians is obviously up there, but I'm talking about, like, actual locations, not, like, sets that are made. Like, color and all the makeup and everything, obviously, Guardians takes that. It's beautiful. James Gunn is he's the man. But visually and just the sets and the scale and the scope of everything, Eternals is so sick. Because you're constantly going back and forth between different eras, different locations, different places on the map. And I love that. And I think the costumes are awesome. And I think that everybody's powers look great. I think the CG is really good in that movie. And the camera movement is awesome. I love it. I love it. I think Eternals is insanely good. And it is ridiculously underrated. And it sucks. But with that being said, I got the Secret Invasion, right? If we're doing like a Marvel list, by the way, I'm giving you like my favorite MCU stuff. If I were to do like a tier list, that's actually difficult. I'd have to look up all of them anyway to even do that. To be 100%, like I'd have to look up every MCU movie to even attempt to do that. But yeah, I think that they've been doing a lot better recently. Like I went to go see like Thunderbolts in the theater when it came out, and I thought it was amazing. I think Thunderbolts is the best thing they've done in a very long time. Fantastic Four was good, but as a DC fanboy, Superman was better. I think Superman's the best thing DC's done since Dark Knight Rises, maybe. I don't know. It's been a long time since they've had a movie that good. So, yeah. I loved it. I went to go see it twice, actually, Superman. I saw it once in IMAX. First time I saw it. Here we go, Phase 4. What's in Phase 4? Dude, Black Widow is super underrated, too. No Way Home came out in Phase 4. Okay, Love and Thunder sucks. Wakanda Forever. Wakanda Forever is so underrated. I think Wakanda Forever is literally, maybe, if not for No Way Home, it would be my favorite Phase 4 movie. I think that movie is amazing. I love all the stuff with Namor. I love Shuri. I'll be honest, I like Shuri more than T'Challa. I'm just being for real. Not that the first Black Panther isn't good. It is. It's cool. I like it. But dog, the second one with Namor and having Shuri dealing with not only T'Challa's death, but then her mother's death. I forget her name. Sorry. But having to deal with both of those, and then at the end of the movie, not taking that out on Namor and actually, you know, like keeping her heroic self alive and not actually killing Namor. Because she easily could have, right? But she didn't. That whole arc, I thought was awesome. And it made me really care for that character. And in my opinion, Shuri is just, in terms of character arc and how much I feel for them, Shuri, to me, is like this. Not even close to T'Challa, in my opinion. Not that his performance wasn't amazing. Obviously, Chadwick Boseman is a legend, and he did a great job as Black Panther. I'm just saying that the writing, I think, is a lot better for Shuri so far. That's just my opinion, though. I love Black Panther 2. I think that movie's awesome. Phase 4 is good. I don't care. And then you got Loki, and then you got Moon Knight, and then you got Werewolf by Night. And you got Doctor Strange 2, which isn't a great movie, but, dude, it's got its moments for sure. And I'm a Doctor Strange guy, so I think that movie's sweet. So, bro, I'm just being for real. I think Phase 4 is better than Phase 3. I think Phase 4 is better than Phase 2. I think Phase 1 is my favorite, and then Phase 4 is really good. And here's why I think that. Like I was saying with Phase 1, with every movie they feel different. When you get to Phase 2 and Phase 3, they all feel the same. They all feel the same. The only ones that feel different are Guardians of the Galaxy. That's literally it. And that's why those are so special, especially Guardians 3. Guardians 3 is amazing. But I think Guardians 1 and Guardians 2 are both really good movies. And the reason why they stand out is because they're so different to the rest of the MCU at that point. There's nothing else like those, right? And so that's why they're so cool, because everything else in the MCU feels the same. Iron Man 3 and Winter Soldier and Ant-Man and Civil War and like all of those, they all feel like the same movies. You know what I mean? They're just different characters, but they all feel the same. Doctor Strange is another one that feels different, and I love that movie. The first Doctor Strange is awesome. It's one of my favorite MCU movies for sure. I think it's super underrated. But even with Phase 3, like Endgame to me is the standout. And people really talk highly about Infinity War. And yes, I think Infinity War is great. I've seen it multiple times. It's good. But Endgame, the pacing is just so much better in Endgame. It's way funnier. It's way more entertaining. It's way easier to sit through. I think it's just way better to me. Now, the ending to Infinity War is great. That's the one thing I'll give it. The ending with everybody dying, I've never felt like that in my life. That movie made me feel a type of way that I've never felt. And this is a weird parallel. This is a weird comparison that I don't think you're even going to understand what I'm saying. But if you know me, you know that Dead Rising is like one of my favorite video games ever. I have a poster. You've seen it, right? Right by my bed. I love that game. I love the remake. I love Frank West. He's like one of my favorite, if not my favorite fictional character, at least in a video game. And the first Dead Rising, at the very end of the game, spoiler alert, everybody dies. The only character that's left is Frank and Isabella, and that's literally it. And when you get to the end of the game, the whole time you have this clock, and you're like, okay, I'm waiting for this helicopter to come. That's my end goal of the game, right? To get to this helicopter. And at the end of the game, the helicopter crashes, and everybody's dead. All the survivors that you got, Otis takes them and they leave, so they're not there anymore. And it's literally just you with no instruction. The game doesn't tell you what to do. Every time you look at your watch, there's no instructions. It has nothing. So it's like, what the heck am I supposed to do now? I like that feeling of like just complete despair, complete like what do I do now? I have no like that's Infinity War made me feel the same way. Where it was like the end of that movie, everybody's dead. What now? You know what I mean? It's like Thanos literally won. What do we do now? So I'll give it that. The ending is amazing, and it makes me cry every time I watch it. But Endgame makes me bawl like a baby. There's no movie like Endgame that makes me cry that bad. My favorite moment, actually, from that movie, like Tony's death is amazing, and Steve picking up the hammer is amazing. That's the best part of that movie. But my favorite moment in that whole film, without a question, is Steve giving the shield to Sam. And Sam saying, I'll do my best. Like, I don't know why, but that moment gets me every single time, and I start bawling like a baby every time I watch that scene. And Sam is so underrated as a character to me in the MCU. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. He's literally one of my favorite characters in the MCU. Like, easily. I thought Captain America 4 sucked. I thought it was terrible. But man, he's so good in Endgame. And he is so good in Falcon Winter Soldier. That's another show I forgot about in Phase 4. That show is so good, dude. I've seen it twice, and I love it. I love it. So, yeah. To me, Phase 4 is it's goated. I think Phase 4 is awesome. I love it. Phase 5 is pretty mid, to be honest. It's got its moments. Like, Guardians 3 definitely hard carries. But, yeah. Other than that, it's kind of mid. What If is also really mid. I don't like it. The Doctor Strange episode was good. But other than that, I wasn't huge on it. I like Captain Carter. I know people don't. I actually haven't even seen Season 2 or 3, to be honest with you. I'm going to be 100%. But I've seen everything up to Marvels, like I said. I haven't even seen Deadpool Wolverine yet. I'll get to it. But anyway, I also haven't seen X-Men 97. I've seen the entire animated series, all 5 seasons of that, and the Spider-Man animated series. I've seen Season 1 of Iron Man as well. It was terrible. I've heard that Season 2 is better. It has a different animation team and everything, so I need to watch that one. But I haven't yet. But I loved Spider-Man. I loved X-Men. So I'm really excited to watch it. I just haven't seen it yet. I also got spoiled that Gambit dies. I'm not a huge Gambit fan, though, so I don't really care that much. I like Angel, and he's not even in the show. So, I mean, he is. He's like, they do the Archangel thing. But anyway. Okay, what was I saying? What was I even talking about? MCU. Endgame. Endgame is better than Infinity War, in my opinion. It just is. It just is. I think it's better. I also met Sam. Sam is super underrated for me. And I really wish his movie was better because it sucked. The show was really good, but the movie sucked. Also, I've been a John Walker fan since day one as well. Ever since I watched that show the first time, I was a huge fan of him and Battlestar. And then Thunderbolts was when people really started to come around on him. And I was like, dude, this guy's been good since he showed up. I think he's super compelling, and I can't wait to see more of him. Thunderbolts was so dang good, man. It was so good. It sucks that and also, I'm a Hulk guy. I don't know if I've ever talked about this, Hulk is my favorite Marvel character. So Red Hulk, I love. Thaddeus. Like I think that's a great character. But man, that movie sucked. It had its moments. Like I'm not saying that um I didn't like Red Hulk in that movie. It was the best part of it. But I I don't understand why they did that in a Captain America movie. That didn't make sense to me. And they had Betty come back. It's like, dude, I've been waiting for Betty Ross to show up in the MCU forever. Because Hulk has so many good side characters. Where is Rick Jones? Where is Betty Ross? Where is Doc Samson? Like, do you know how many characters you could do? Where is Joe Fixit? Get into Bruce's head. Do a good Hulk movie where you actually have all of the different facets of his mind and his split personality. He has DID, and they never even talked about it. It's crazy. Anyway, like with how good they did Moon Knight and all of the different, him talking to himself and him having all I know they could do Hulk right if they tried. I know they could. Moon Knight is also so good, bro. I love Moon Knight. I have a hot toy of Moon Knight. I don't know if I've ever actually showed you guys my hot toys. I have a bunch of in-art figures too, but I get 6 scale figures. I haven't bought one in a while because they're expensive, but I do have a good bit. I have a She-Hulk. I have Captain Marvel, Captain Carter, Doctor Strange, Blade, Moon Knight, Iron Man Mark 1, Henry Cavill Superman, Robert Pattinson Batman, Robert Pattinson Bruce Wayne, and Christian Bale Batman from Batman Begins. Those are the ones I have at the moment. So a good bit. But they're just expensive, and I really don't have anywhere to put them, so I haven't been getting any. InArt did make a David Corn sweat that I really want, and they're also making a Ben Affleck that I really want, and a Gal Gadot that I really want, so it's getting pretty rough. And then Hot Toys made a Dark Knight Returns Batman and Superman, and I'm like, dude, these are insane. They look so cool. Yeah, it sucks how many figures they're making right now. It's really unfortunate. Also, I bought... This ticked me off so bad. I bought the Bully Maguire, the black suit Spider-Man from Spider-Man 3, which I grew up with that movie. I wanted it so bad. I bought it. It was sold out everywhere, and it was on pre-order. So I found some random toy store. I think it was called like Andy's Toy Chest or something. I looked it up on Google, and it was on there. I was like, I'm gonna pre-order off this random toy store, and they'll send it to me, right? I got it. I paid like $270. I think I got like some kind of deal on it or something. I bought it for like $270, and they never shipped it to me. I bought it like 2 years ago. They never shipped it to me, and I'm pretty sure when you go on the website, it doesn't even exist anymore. The website. So I got completely jacked when it comes to that figure, which sucks because I wanted that one so bad, bro. It was such a waste of money. Like, that's $270. Dude. That sucks. Anyway, it's fine. I also really want to get a Michael Keaton Batman because, like, dude, have you seen the Batman Returns one they did? Oh my gosh, the 2.0. That thing looks unreal, his head sculpt. It's insane. I've heard the articulation's really bad. And the suit, like, messes up if you pose it, but I don't even care. I have a Batman Begins from Hot Toys. I got a custom head sculpt and custom cape for it though, because the head sculpt sucked on the Hot Toys, and I got the second batch because the first batch was all glossy and gross. So I got like the matte one, which is the second batch, and then I got an OT Customs. No, it was Jackson Jew. A Jackson Jew head sculpt, a Jackson Jew cape, and it has like a wire, and it's great. It's awesome. So that's my favorite Batsuit. So, and my favorite Batman movie, other than the Batman with Robert Pattinson, because obviously, as I said, I have 2 of him. I got Batman and Bruce Wayne from InArt. So yeah. Anyway, InArt is a great company. If you want to get into 6 scale figures, check out InArt, especially if you're into DC stuff. They also have a lot of Lord of the Rings figures as well, and they have Paul Atreides from Dune. So if you want some really, really insanely cool figures, you should check out InArt. They also have Joaquin Phoenix Joker, and I wanted it so bad. If you know me, you know that that's probably my favorite comic book movie ever. I went to go see it when it came out. I bought it, and I watched it like 20 times. The first like couple months it was out. It means something to me. It's very special to me, and I love that movie. That's my favorite Joker ever. Like Ledger's great. I absolutely love Nicholson as well as a Batman '89 guy, but I think that Phoenix movie was so good. I went to go see the second one as well in the theater. I wasn't as critical as other people were, but I certainly didn't like it as much the first one, not even close. It was pretty lackluster, for sure. Visually, it was great, but it was just like, what was the point of even making it? I liked the Two-Face thing, but I don't know. I wasn't huge on it. But the first one I loved very much. I still do. I love that movie. Um, anyway, if we're going into DC movies, I could talk all day. I mean, if we're doing a Batman movie thing, Batman Forever is a personal favorite, and here's how. If you watch that movie without the deleted scenes, it's not as good. But if you watch the Schumacher cut, if you watch a fan edit with the deleted scenes put in and all the stupid jokes cut out, like when he says I'll get drive through, they cut it out. If you watch one of those, it is amazing. It's awesome. They cut out all the stupid stuff with the security guard at the beginning. Right? They cut out a bunch of dumb jokes. They put in all this stuff. They put in more scenes of Robin and Bruce. They put in more scenes of Two-Face. They put in more scenes of um, Bruce and the giant man bat thing in his cave. That's like my favorite thing ever. I literally have a sticker of it on the back of my iPad of that. I love that scene. I love Batman Forever. I love it. I think Kilmer is amazing as Batman. His Bruce Wayne's my favorite Bruce Wayne, except for Christian Bale. Yeah, I love that movie, dude. I really do. The soundtrack's awesome. Elliot Goldenthal, shout out. Yeah. Now, Batman and Robin sucks, right? It's fun, but it sucks. Uh, Arnold's the best part of the movie, but it's not good. Not that Clooney's the problem, but I just feel like I don't know. It's just I mean his performance sucks, but the writing's not bad. Alfred's the best part of the movie. Michael Goff, whatever you want to call him, he is my favorite Alfred, other than Alan Napier from the Adam West show. I'm also a huge fan of Adam West and Burt Ward. I think that the Batman '66 show is awesome, and I love it. So yeah, the Bat 2C and all that, dude. I mean, just give it to me, right? Like I love the dang Linda Carter show from the '70s. I think that show rules, man. I love that show, right? With Steve Wagner and all those guys. I think that's awesome. In fact, Steve Wagner was actually going to be Batman. There's test footage of him and some other dude as Robin. And then there's Burt and Adam. And it's crazy to think that 10 years before he was, Steve Trevor, he was going to be Batman. He might have been Batman. So it's pretty crazy to think about that. Thank goodness it didn't happen because Adam West is perfect. But I'm just saying that almost happened. But yeah, Christian Bale is obviously the best Batman in terms of writing, because he just is. Like his writing is really good, and his performance is amazing, especially in like Dark. Oh my gosh, him in Dark Knight Rises, like my favorite scene of his. It's a weird one, and I don't think many people would pick this one, but in Dark Knight Rises, Ra's al Ghul shows up in the pit, and he's talking to him. He's like, "Gotham's gonna burn. You failed. All this stuff." And Bale just lets out a scream, and then it cuts halfway through the scream, and he's trying to get up. His back's broken, right? He's trying to get up, and then he fights his way and gets out of the cave, And that whole sequence is amazing. The soundtrack is amazing. Can I say something? Why is Dark Knight Rises so underrated? People hate on that movie all the time. I'm like, dude, that is the most rewatchable Batman movie ever made. Other than 89. 89 is really rewatchable. But, dude, and Forever also, in my opinion. But dang, Dark Knight Rises is so good. Like, the soundtrack, Bane, Catwoman, Talia sucks. I'll give you that. Talia sucks. And the fight scenes are kind of weird, right? The choreography is not great. But the chase scenes, the bat pod, the bat, the flying thing, you got amazing scenes of Gordon, Amazing scenes with Alfred. I mean, it's a good movie, dude. And the scene with all the cops and then all of Bane's guys like running at each other, and then Batman and Bane meet up in the middle. That scene is so epic. I love it. I love Blake too. Officer Blake, he's probably the best character in that whole movie. It's so good. Like, people hate on it for no reason. I think Dark Knight Rises is better than The Dark Knight. I'm just being 100%. It's not better than Batman Begins. You can't beat Batman Begins except for the Batman, which is better. I could probably do a whole video talking about the Batman, in my opinion on that. I think that's the best Batman movie that will ever be made. I don't think you can beat it. I don't think there will ever be a better one. James Gunn can't make a better one. I'm sorry. It's just not going to happen. You can't. I don't even think the second Matt Reeves one's going to be better than it. It might be really good, but there's no way it's going to beat the first one. It might have better action, better fight scenes, but it's never going to beat the first one in terms of writing. It is perfect. The arc that they put Batman through in that movie is perfect. And I'll do a whole video on that one day, probably. I did a dang presentation on that movie in college. Like, I love that movie. I know too much about it. I've seen it too many times. Like, I've listened to the director's commentary. Like, I love it. I love it. Anyway, when it comes to Superman, I'm weird. Brandon Routh is actually my favorite. The whole point is just talking about Secret Invasion. I haven't even gotten to it yet, by the way. We'll get to it in a second. I'll talk about Secret Invasion in a minute. Brandon Routh is my favorite Superman. I know that's weird, but I was getting into Superman at a weird time where it was like, I was always a Batman kid, but Superman always piqued my interest. I always liked the character, but I never got super into him, no pun intended, until I watched Superman Returns. I watched the first 4. I thought they were really great, except for 4, obviously, but I really enjoyed Christopher Reeve's portrayal. I think he's amazing in the role. He's the best Superman ever. You can't beat him. David Cornsweet's really good. He's really good. He's probably going to end up taking it. But Ralph will always be my favorite. And I just think he's the coolest. He's my favorite. I don't really even know how to describe it or say why, but he just is. I think the shot that got me was in the TV stuff with Crisis on Infinite Earths. There's a shot with him flying. He does the Christopher Reeve spot where he flies past the screen. And he's got the Kingdom Come suit. He's got the big yellow symbol. He smiles at the screen. He's like, he smiles at the screen. And then he grabs his cape with both his hands. And, dude, that shot right there solidified it. I was like, this is my guy. This is my Superman. So, I don't think it'll ever be taken from me. I don't think it'll ever be topped. I like Cavill. I have a dang $500 almost a 6-scale figure of him as Superman from BVS. I like Henry Cavill. But he's not better than Cornsweet. He's not better than Ralph. He's not better than Reeve. I'm sorry. He's just not. Casting-wise, he's the best. If we're just being honest. I think casting-wise, there is no better Superman than him. He is perfect for the role. He's perfect for the role. But his writing was absolutely atrocious. So that's why. I can't help it. Visually, perfect. But writing-wise, trash. So, yeah. Anyway, to Secret Invasion, I'll probably make a part 2 to this one. We'll just talk about a bunch of superhero movies and stuff. Stuff I didn't talk about today. If I want to talk about something, I'll just do it. I don't know. I'm just rambling, because why not? Right? Let's get into Secret Invasion. Here's my problem with the show. I don't know who it was made for. I really don't. Because, even the ones I don't like that they've done, I'm like, I at least understand why they were made. Like She-Hulk, I know why that was made. It was made for a very specific audience, right? And I didn't even think it was that bad. I didn't like it that much, but I didn't even think it was that bad. I have a 6-scale figure of her, right? Mostly just because I like the Hulk and you can't find Hulk ones, so I was like, I'm gonna get She-Hulk. Anyway, I wanted a Gamma figure of some kind. Anyway, but my point is that She-Hulk, I understand why it was made. Right? Miss Marvel, I understand why it was made. It was made for a very specific audience. I had a lot of fun with that show, even. Right? I liked it. But it was made for kids, and you can tell. There are certain shows that they've done, and you can tell the audience. Who the heck was Secret Invasion made for? I don't know. I really don't. It sucked. It was so bad. The acting was really shoddy. Half of it sucked. The relationship between that random Skull Lady and Nick Fury, I didn't see any chemistry with them the whole time. I didn't buy the relationship at all. It was really weird seeing Nick Fury make out with the alien at the end of the show. And like that one British lady, she was good. Gravik, he kind of sucked, but at the same time, his performance wasn't bad. I'll get like the actor, especially in the last episode. I'll give him props. Like he did a good job. The scene between him and Nick Fury was like yelling at him, and it was like a big, monologue. I liked that scene. I thought he did a good job. And Don Cheadle as well. He was great in the show. He made Rhodey so hateable. I mean, seriously, he was the most annoying character ever, which was on purpose. And so I'll give him that. Don Cheadle definitely did a good job, and Sam Jackson, he did his best. He did his best. I can't think of the guy's name that plays Talos. Sorry, but he also did a good job. He was in Rogue One too. I can't think of his name. Anyway, he did a good job. They had a couple scenes together. I like the one on the train where they're going back and forth. That was a good scene. Probably the only one in the whole show that I liked. And then when the president is he gets like shot with the missile and they're trying to get him out. I liked that scene because I thought the stunts were good. That's one thing I'll give the show. The stunts were really good. The squibs, I remember every time somebody got shot, I was like, oh, that's a cool looking squib. So I'll give them that. Is that it? I mean, the soundtrack sucked. The writing was not good. Gaia was awful. The CG was awful. Oh my gosh. It's gotta be the worst CG they've done. It has to be. At least from what I've seen. And I've seen like 90% of the MCU. That was bad. That was really bad. Especially the last fight. That was rough, dude. It was terrible. It was really bad. I will never watch it again. I would watch, in fact I have seen a lot, most of the MCU more than once. Even the shows. I would never watch that one again. Ever. I would watch Miss Marvel again. I'd watch She-Hulk again. I'm not watching that junk again. It sucked. And it's unfortunate because it's like, that's a cool arc. I mean, they ruined the Skrulls. They really did. They ruined the Skrulls in the MCU. They ruined Hulk in the MCU. I mean, we could do a whole thing on that too with what they did with the Hulk. I mean, that sucks. But yeah, dude. I think I'm gonna stop now because I've been talking forever. This is almost 50 minutes long of me just rambling on about literally nothing. So I think we're gonna stop. I wanted to get to 50 exactly because I think that'd be funny. This is the 20th one of these I've done, which is pretty crazy. I've done 20 of these, and yeah, we're gonna keep going. I'm gonna try to get to 100 at least. When I get to 100, I might stop. I'm not gonna lie, but I want to at least make 100 of these. I think that'd be funny. Because why not? This is literally just for me in like 20 years to look back on, and be like, man, you were weird. You were you look so different, bro. You were weird. So that's the whole point of this whole thing. But anyway, Toasty Talk 20. I love you. Jesus loves you tremendously. He died for you. Talk to him today, please. That's all I'm asking you. Just talk to him. Be like, hey, bro, what's going on? That's all you gotta do. I love you. He loves you. Bye bye. See you in 21.